The latest on that suspected Chinese spy balloon making its way across the country. The incident leading the Secretary of State to postpone his high-stakes trip to China.
And now the Pentagon is in discussions over a potential plan to shoot it down with only a small window to pull it off. ABC's White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks is on the North Lawn with the details. Mary Alice, good morning.
Whit, good morning. U.S. officials insist that this balloon does not pose any threat, but of course they are tracking it closely as it continues to move across the country. This morning, that Chinese balloon on the move. U.S. military leaders saying it's moved well past Montana, sailing over Midwest states, headed towards North Carolina. Despite China's claims it's a civilian aircraft blown off course, U.S. officials adamant it's not.
The fact is, we know that it's a surveillance balloon.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken postponing his trip to China planned for next week, saying now is not the time to meet.
I made clear that the presence of this surveillance balloon in U.S. airspace is a clear violation of U.S. sovereignty and international law, that it's an irresponsible act.
Overnight, the Chinese Foreign Ministry responding, saying, we respect that. The balloon sailing at about 60,000 feet above commercial aircraft, but pilots spotting it as it traveled.
We got that balloon in sight also. Looks like it's way up there, maybe 50,000 feet or so.
Pentagon officials confirming the balloon has a large bay of technology attached underneath, roughly the size of 3 buses. And they say the balloon is maneuverable. Officials also spotting a second Chinese surveillance balloon over South America. U.S. officials say they are talking to China about this and insisting that for now the balloon poses no threat.
Military commanders have assessed that there is no physical or military threat to people on the ground.
The White House saying they acted quickly to conceal anything that might be sensitive, and they're not ruling out bringing it down, saying all options are on the table. But on Capitol Hill, Republicans calling for more action right now.
I think we had plenty of options to shoot it down, or even better, find a way to reduce its altitude and capture it so we can get a look at the instrumentation.
This is not the first time the U.S. has tracked Chinese balloon activity. U.S. officials confirming last year they tracked 2 balloons near Guam and Hawaii.
This is a very sensitive time, and both countries have an interest in avoiding escalation.
Now, the Pentagon and the White House had said they were worried about shooting it down because of the debris of something so large. But now we've learned there could be a new plan about bringing it down on the table. One source telling us they're thinking about waiting until it gets out over sea to bring it down. But of course, that could be hard because they don't want us to have some international incident if this is over international waters. Eva?
Mary Alice Parks for us there. Thank you, Mary Alice. Let's bring in ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard, a former Defense and State Department official. Good morning to you. So we know several lawmakers have been calling for the U.S. to shoot this down. Why haven't they done this yet?
Well, shooting it down is easier said than done. You think about if you're going to use a missile, that's going to spray hot metal over a large area. It's up at 60,000 feet, so it does have a danger. And because of where it is now over heavily populated areas in the U.S., that makes it a safety issue. But remember that the Pentagon said that they detected it out over the Aleutians, way, way wet to the west. And it went up over Alaska. Those are not heavily populated areas. So days ago, it was a political decision not to shoot it down. Now it's a safety issue.
Okay, so what is this path that it's on? What could it be looking at?
Yeah, if you look at where it started in China, it actually went up the whole length of Japan. And then it came up over the Aleutians. It went across Alaska, went by Eielson Air Force Base, a sensitive Air Force base we have up there, came back down, went into Montana. We have ICBMs based in Montana that it may have wanted to look at, came down into Missouri. We keep B-2s at Whiteman Air Force Base. But the key here is we don't know what it's looking for. Is it taking pictures? Is it doing signals intelligence where it's intercepting communications? But the thing that's perplexing here is that the Chinese have the ability to do these things from space where they wouldn't be violating U.S. sovereignty. So why they're doing it now, creating a political diplomatic kerfuffle right before Secretary Blinken meets with President Xi.
And we heard Mary Alice mention this idea of shooting it down over the water. How hard is that?
So right now, as it moves off, the thinking is it's going to move off the North Carolina coast. So U.S. sovereign airspace and maritime sea space, 12 nautical miles. So it's got to go offshore, and then they have a window of 12 nautical miles to make it come down in U.S. waters, because if it goes into international waters, the U.S. loses its legal ability to say, we're going to shoot this down. So in that 12 miles, they've got to bring it down in U.S. waters, and you can bet that there'll be ships down there waiting to pick up that payload to take a look at what's inside. Is it what the Chinese claim, a meteorological balloon, or is it the U.S. claims a spy balloon?
But clearly not a simple task.
Not a simple task.
Colonel Gagnon, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.